After 16 years of long anticipation, countless delays, and even surviving the challenges of war, Stalker 2 Heart of the Chornobyl is almost here. It's finally within the grasp, and it's shaping up to be a game that fans have been eagerly waiting for. Now, the big question is, will it be able to live up to the monumental expectations, or is there reason to be cautious? We're gonna talk about that in this video today. First, let's talk about how we got here. Stalker 2 has had one of the longest and most troubled development cycle in recent memory. Originally announced in 2010, the project was cancelled, revived in 2018, and has been delayed numerous times since then. The developers GSC Game World even had to relocate during the Russian invasion of Ukraine, which only added to the game's challenges. Yet, despite all these hurdles, the game is now set to launch on November 20, 2024. The Stalker series is beloved for its unique blend of FPS combat set in the eerie Chernobyl exclusion zone. But with modern gaming trends, there are concerns. Will this sequel stick to the roots that made the original cult a classic? Or it will attempt to go mainstream and lose that iconic Stalker soul? That's the question. Let's talk with the visuals, and honestly, they look literally incredible. Powered by Unreal Engine 5, Stalker 2 is set in a 64 square kilometer open world, featuring photorealistic environment that perfectly creates the decade radioactive wasteland of Chernobyl. Early previews shows off stunning landscape, from dilapidated buildings and dense forest to eerie swamps filled with deadly anomalies. The lightning effect, especially when the anomalies are active, are jaw-dropping. You could be sneaking through an abandoned village only to witness a burst of energy from anomaly distort reality right in front of you. This is where Stalker 2 shines. It's haunting and beautiful, and no game does that post-apocalyptic horror quite like this. Eurogamer even described the game as amazing, while Kotaku said it looks unmistakably like the Stalker we all know and love, but with modern polish. Now, let's talk about the combat. If you've played the original Stalker games, you know the gunplay is brutal and unforgiving. And from what we have seen, Stalker 2 is keeping that spirit alive. Every bullet counts and weapons degrades over time, adding to the new tension. Whether you are up against human enemies or horrifying mutated creatures, you will need to make every shot matter. The AI has also been improved. Through early demos have shown mixed results. IGN's Matt Purslow noted that while the AI wasn't perfect, it added a layer of unpredictability that kept the combat exciting. Mutants, in particular, behave differently depending on their type, with some creatures like the infamous Bloodsucker phasing in and out of visibility, making them terrifying to face in the open world. Weapon variety is another area where Stalker 2 excels. With over 30 different types of weapon, each customizable with mods and different ammunition types, the game lets you tailor your playstyle to how you want to approach the encounter. Whether you are a sniper picking off enemies from a distance or prefer getting close up with an assault rifle, Stalker 2 gives you a plenty of options. Before we go into any deeper, if you're enjoying this breakdown so far, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps me a lot and ensures you don't miss out any future gaming reviews and updates. And maybe you can buy me a coffee. The coffee link is in the description. Now, Stalker 2 isn't just about shooting, it's also about surviving, and it's brutal in that aspect too. It's like in the original games, you will need to manage hunger, radiation exposure, sleep, and even bleeding. This is a true survival experience where your supplies are as valuable as your weapons. Don't expect to be running through the game guns blazing without taking a moment to check your health, food supplies, and radiation levels. Artifacts are back, and they play a significant role in surviving. These rare and valuable items are located in the most dangerous areas of Chernobyl exclusion zone, often hidden within anomalies. Collecting them can grant you powerful benefit, but getting to them is deadly risky. And speaking of anomalies, they're more deadly this time around. These unpredictable environmental hazards are one of the franchise's signature features, and Stalker 2 looks to expand on that by adding new types that will test your survival skills to the max. And there is the A-Life 2.0 system, which simulates the living and breathing world. Functions will go to war, Mutants will hunt in packs, and NPCs will go about their daily lives, all without the player's involvement. This creates a dynamic, unpredictable world where you are never truly safe, even when you are just exploring. As for the story, Stalker 2 promises a deep, branching narrative with multiple endings. You play as a lone stalker, navigating through Chornobyl exclusion zone after a second of explosion in 2006. The decisions you make along the way will shape your journey, determining who lives, who dies, and what fate you will ultimately meet. The series has always been about morally great choices, and Stalker 2 will be no different. One early demo showed that even something as simple as deciding whether you're gonna help the NPCs could drastically change the course of your quest. This level of choice based on storytelling adds depth to the reality, ensuring that no two play thoughts are the same. The narrative promises to be filled with mystery and intrigue, dividing deeper into the supernatural horror lurking within the zone. If you're a fan of Stalker's eerie atmosphere and cryptic storytelling, it looks like Stalker 2 is set to deliver. However, not everything is perfect. Some longtime fans are concerned about Stalker 2 leaning too heavily into modern gaming trends. The introduction of multiple edition, Standard, Deluxe, and Ultimate has raised question about whether the game will be locked down by unnecessary microtransactions and DLCs. Some fear that inclusion of cosmetic skin and multiplayer updates could dilute the immersive, gritty experience that Stalker 2 is known for. On top of that, the game's high system requirement have sparked debate. While it's true that Stalker has always been a demanding game in terms of hardware, there are concerns that the high specs could alienate a proportion of core audience, particularly in the Eastern Europe, where Stalker 2 fanbase is the strongest. And then there is a question of whether Stalker 2 will be too streamlined for mainstream audience. Launching day one on Xbox Game Pass, some worry that the game could sacrifice some of its hardcore survival elements in the attempt of appeal to a broader of player base. So with all that said, could you really be excited for Stalker 2 Heart of the Chernobyl? Well, absolutely. While there are some valid concerns, the core of what made the original game is so special appeared to be intact. The world is atmospheric and dangerous, the combat is visceral and unforgiving, and the survival mechanics are as punishing as ever. If you're waiting for a game that truly challenges you both of survival and storytelling, Stalker 2 is shaping up to be one of the most unique FPS experience we have seen in years. Whether you're a long-term fan or just new to the series, there is plenty here to be excited about. And don't you forget, if you wanna support this channel or enjoy this kind of content, you can donate through my Ko-fi page. The Ko-fi support keeps this video coming, and I truly appreciate every bit of it. Thank you so much guys, see you in the next one.